current scenario. The first question for you guys, what would you do if you had to double your SIP book in the next 6 months? Straight away double your SIP books in the next 6 months. What would you focus first? Existing clients, dormant clients, new prospects, referrals. ओके, बोलो बोलो। नया अगर SIP बुक डबल करना है तो किस पे फोकस करोगे? एग्जिस्टिंग क्लाइंट्स पे, डॉर्मेंट क्लाइंट्स पे, नए प्रोस्पेक्ट्स पे, या फिर रेफरल्स पे? So around 40% have participated. Come on, guys, let's participate. I know you are settling in. Just entered this session. Lot of people. Just एक डाल दो. Okay, 55 people, 55% have participated on the session. Thank you. I'm ending the first poll. I'm sharing the result. So 53% of you are saying that you will be focusing on new prospects, and 18% each are saying existing and referral, and 11% are saying dormant clients. That interesting. Now I'll go to question number 2. Hope you can see your business model. What percentage of your monthly SIB's business comes from referrals as of now? This is a very important question. You might have never checked this, but you should check it. Okay, what percentage of your monthly SIP business comes from referrals? We will do a session on referrals also, completely focused only on referrals, how to generate references, what to ask, what not to ask. It will be like a more of a workshop. Come on, guys, answer. What percentage of your monthly SIP business comes from referrals? Come on, guys. खाली एक बटन ही दबाना और कुछ नहीं करना है. Participate. 50% have participated. Okay, I'm ending the poll because we have 3 more polls to go, and I'm sharing the result. What percentage of your monthly SIP business come from referrals? 50% are saying less than 25%. 30% are saying 25 to 50%. 17% are saying 51 to 75%, and 2% are saying more than 75%. Okay, that's great. Now, question number 3, sorry, growth mindset. Which statement best describes your business today? ये बहुत सोच समझ के आंसर देना. Which statement best describes your business today? Sir, you can see the poll, right? Okay, I am working hard, but growth is slow. I have growth, but it is inconsistent. My business is growing consistently. I have a predictable system for generating SIPs. मतलब मेरा ऑलरेडी एक सिस्टम बन गया है जिसमें रेगुलरली मेरे पास SIP आ रहे हैं. ओके, माय बिजनेस इज ग्रोइंग कंसिस्टेंटली, कंटिन्यूसली मेरा बिजनेस ग्रो हो ही रहा है, तो ज़्यादा मुझे करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. आई हैव ग्रोथ बट इट इज़ इनकन्सिस्टेंट. कभी आपका जनवरी और जुलाई का मोटिवेशन आता है तो 5x बिजनेस हो जाता है, फिर उसके बाद ठंडा पड़ जाता है. आई एम वर्किंग हार्ड बट ग्रोथ इज स्लो. दैट इज गुड. ऑलमोस्ट 50% पार्टिसिपेशन इन दिस क्वेश्चन. Okay, I'm ending this poll. We have 2 more to go. We have to see. 50% have said, I have growth, but it is inconsistent. 28% are saying that I'm working hard, but growth is slow. My business is growing consistently is 20%, and 2% are saying they already have a predictable system for generating SIPs. सर ये आप जो भी हो, थोड़ा आप नेक्स्ट वाले सेशन पे आपको स्पीकर बना देंगे. जरा हमको भी बताओ और बाकी लोगों को भी सिखाओ कि कैसे करते हैं. Okay. Client review frequency. This is the next poll. This is very, very important. I want your 100% participation. How often do you conduct a structured portfolio review with your SIP clients? Every 6 months, once a year, only when the client calls. I don't have fixed review process. मेरे हिसाब से तो 90% of the cases it is only when the client calls. Okay, or it is I don't have a fixed review process. I feel so that disciplinary SIP में review करना, I know that we all do this review for our HNI clients, super HNI clients, we do that on a regular basis, but for SIP clients, how many people do this is a big question. Okay, I want good पार्टिसिपेशन. ट्रू, बी ऑनेस्ट. आपका नाम हमको नहीं दिखता है. आई कांट सी हु हैज वोटेड. सो डोंट वरी, बी ऑनेस्ट. Okay, 55% people have participated. I'm ending the poll. I'm sharing the result. Now, this is very diversified answer. 33% say I don't have a fixed review process. 25% are saying 6 months. Okay, 22% only when the client calls is the honest guys. Okay, 20% once a year. Whoever does this, it's really good. Last and final question before we go start with the webinar. Okay, at least expect 100 participation in this one. The one skill that matters most. Which skill will have the biggest impact on your SIP business for the next 5 years? Is it prospecting? मतलब leads कैसे generate करने का, leads को prospect कैसे करने का? Is it relationship building? Is it technology and AI? Or is it communication and storytelling? Which will think will impact have the biggest impact on your SIP book or business in the next 5 years? Give a serious thought for this. Is it prospecting, matlab lead generation, or how you prospected, or is it relationship building with your clients, maybe for the references? Is it technology and AI, और इज इट कम्युनिकेशन एंड स्टोरी टेलिंग? अब मेरे ऐसा बंदा तो 100% टेक्नोलॉजी एंड एआई को ही वोट करेगा. बाकी का पता नहीं. Because the way AI is advancing, it's next level. Okay, so I'm stopping the polls. I'm sharing the final result. 31% are still believing that relationship building that will be your key to the references. 29% is the art of communication and storytelling. 25% are with me for technology and AI, and 15% are still in the prospecting. Thank you guys. Thank you for such a wonderful participation. So, welcome all Prudent partners and employees who have joined the session. We have with us Mr. Dev Mohapatra. He is the zonal head for entire South India for Nippon India Mutual Fund. He has been with Nippon for quite years. He is in the industry for almost 20 years now. सिर्फ मेरे सफेद हो गए उनके काले हैं. Very good friend of mine. Okay, he is a CFP, very learned man. Every time I meet him, I learn something new. So I requested him कि सर आज हम आपको पता है कि हमारा जुलाई का ड्राइव चालू है. Okay, it's very good. Our main focus is SIP business. So I want certain suggestions from your side on how to 5x our SIP books, not for just the month of July, but every partner who is already growing to some limit of say 2 crores or 1 crores, they are restricting themselves or stopping at that level and not thinking that how one should go to 5, 5 should go to 50. Okay, maybe they have not seen anybody at 50 crores of SIP book as an individual MFD, or they might not imagine that thing. Okay, so two things we are expecting from this: how immediate results will come and how in the next 3, 4, 5 years. Over to you there, sir.
Thanks, Kapil, for giving this opportunity to speak to your partners. And I think it's a topic and it's a discussion which I kind of enjoy personally quite a little bit because I think the way we are seeing the industry grow, and I think to a very large extent the way in which all news articles are pointing at. I think SIP has become the backbone of the industry, and I would not be wrong when I say that SIP is essentially helping the Indian economy stay afloat. 30,000 crore रुपए हर महीने coming into the mutual fund business. I think it's a very large statement to make. And I think that we are just touching the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that can happen in this particular space. And I am sure that when times to come, the capital markets will benefit definitely from this, but then the investors will also benefit. So it is important for all of us to kind of keep this in mind, to bear in mind that, building a strong SIP book, a SIP franchise is extremely important for taking the business. Some very senior person in the industry said a very interesting thing. And I was looking at the data. The data suggests that in the last 5, 6 years, so from 2020 onwards till now, if you look at the kind of growth that the mutual fund industry has shown, I think it has grown on an annualized basis of approximately 30% year on year. CAGR growth की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. 30% CAGR growth from 25 odd lakh crores that we had in 2020. Today, the industry has 83 and a half lakh crores. So here, one thing that is coming out is if the distributor is able to add at least 1% of the equity book as an SIP, then in that case, every year, 12% of growth will come because of the SIP book itself. And add to that, I think if 30% is the growth that is happening on the AUM automatically because of various reasons, then in that case, we are talking about a business growth of 42%. So just imagine, Kapil, our friends will be able to double their AUM every 2 years. It's a spectacular way in which you can look at the business. The model is extremely
Are
strong.
you motivating me to become a partner?
Well, I think there is no better time than now to be a partner. I think the economy is doing extremely strong. Is it's doing very well, and more importantly, I think as such when we look at the industry, the number of people who are coming in, I think it becomes extremely important for us to benefit from this. I was talking about the AUM growth. I will highlight one more point over here. If you look at the number of folio growth in the same time. Way back in 2020, the total number of folios that were there in the industry was approximately 8 crores. Today, we have 28 crores of folios, 28 crore folios which are live in the industry at this point of time. So, people are also participating. And the best way for people to kind of come into this industry or to create wealth is SIP. So yeah, it is a very, very powerful tool, and I think that every partner should kind of embrace SIPs as the most foundational aspect of their business and kind of build on it. There is no limit to what you can have as a size. Kapil, you mentioned should it be 5 crores, 10 crores, 50 crores. I don't think that that is any kind of a measure. You should always see how we can keep building. And I think that the poll was very, very interesting. And, the kind of answers that we got, I definitely will incorporate those answers in my small presentation that I have created for this discussion. So, if you're okay, can we start the presentation?
Yes, sir, please.
Thanks. So, I'm just sharing my screen, Kapil.
Yeah, it's visible.
Is this visible? If you could
It's
see,
visible.
in
It's
that
visible.
case, I'll start with it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, friends, I think SIP as a concept is not new. I guess, considering you people are part of Prudent as an entity, it is very clear that, Prudent has created SIP as the bedrock with regards to how the business grows and the kind of motivation, the kind of work that they do with regards to SIPs is absolutely visible. Right now, there is this, contest that is going on, and I see on a daily basis what kind of numbers are coming in. So it is but evident that most of you know what SIPs are. And I would not want to spend a lot of time to explain to you what SIPs are and what the benefits are. But then, just for the sake of repetition, I think that it is important. The more the number of times we kind of reiterate this in our brains, I think easier it will become for us to kind of communicate these things to our clients more effectively. One of the most important things that SIPs bring in the life of an investor as well as the lives of a distributor is discipline. And I think that is the most significant aspect about our business discipline. The more disciplined we are, the more easier it is for us to create wealth in the long term. And SIPs, because of the nature, the way they are designed, automatically builds discipline in the lives of an investor. A regulated time frame, a decided or predetermined date, a predetermined amount, all of this happens without taking into consideration markets or, for that matter, any other aspect. It is very, very simple, and it actually has given people a lot of courage to kind of see the markets, because generally we see that people are bothered with regards to volatility in the market, timing the market. I think this discipline kind of removes all those ambiguities from the minds of investors, and it helps them in constantly building wealth. Second, and a very important thing, is with regards to the ability of SIPs to be long in nature. Because SIPs are for long drawn, the power of compounding comes across extremely well when we are talking about SIPs. The single most important thing in financial management, or for that matter, creating wealth for people, is the power of compounding. And there are n number of examples that we can talk about where we have seen power of compounding happen in front of our eyes. Now the question is, are our investors benefiting from this power of compounding? With the help of SIPs, it is easier for us to translate that into reality. Power of compounding definitely comes into picture. Third, I think rupee cost averaging. This is a concept which possibly a lot of people don't understand. But then the truth remains here that when you start an SIP and you start benefiting, that is what is the power of rupee cost averaging. The mathematics behind it is not very, very complex. But then if I have to put it across in a very simple term, I would say that no, it helps you not only average the cost at which you are buying, but then it gives you a little more than that. So we generally kind of do a lump sum investment, but when you're doing an SIP, you are doing it at different price points, and at different price points you get different amounts of units. Now, when you try to understand what is the average value of that, it is not the average of the prices at which you have bought. It is actually the total amount divided in the total number of units that you have. You will see that the price is lesser. That is rupee cost averaging, and it gives you a significant benefit over any other form it can be done. So by just starting an SIP, the investor starts to benefit. And as time has progressed, I am a person who has been in this business for the last 21 years. I remember a time when SIPs were done by issuing check leaves, and banks can give a maximum of 25 check leaves to you. So people used to give 6 check leaves or 12 check leaves or 10 check leaves in order to do an SIP. And once those used to get exhausted, another set of check leaves were given. Today, you can do perpetual SIPs. You can do SIPs for as many years that you want. Honestly speaking, we don't have a SIP end date in our forms. So that is what is happening. And the convenience and flexibility which SIP offers to you is really, really insane. You can pause SIPs, you can stop SIPs, you can change the amount on SIPs, you can move from one SIP to the other. So the flexibility and convenience that you can give to your clients, depending upon what kind of a state that they are in, also makes SIP such a strong facility which is available with mutual funds. All in all, I think SIP as a concept is a great concept, and it makes the entire journey of investing very interesting for the investor, and they see how they are accumulating wealth over a period of time. So yes, we have to kind of come back with a stronger push on SIPs and make sure that no, our investors benefit from the entire concept called a systematic investment plan. Now, this is a very typical example, and I'm sure that you must have seen thousands and thousands of examples like this. Uh, Typical scenario. The scenario is that an investor wants to earn a retirement corpus of 5 crores over a period of 30 years. This gentleman is Rahul. He works in Bangalore. He's a software engineer. He kind of loves traveling, and he kind of keeps purchasing a lot of tech gadgets. But he understands that over a period of time, he has to accumulate a retirement corpus. So he comes to you and he says that no, I've got 30 years with me in order to retire. Can we create a 5 crore corpus? Fact is, it is extremely simple if we break it down into smaller units. And SIP, that is where it becomes a powerful tool. The discipline of investing monthly amount over a stipulated period of 30 years in a product which would probably give him a 12% return will help him to achieve this goal. This can be computed with very simple tools which are available online these days. And with Kapil around, I think, you have enough and more tools which possibly will be able to kind of get that done. The number comes out to 14,306. So if 14,306 rupees is invested every month on a specified date for the next 30 years, yep, 5 crores is a possibility. Friends, here I'll tell you why I was saying that we have seen power of compounding in effect. We have a product called as Nippon India Growth Fund. This fund has been in existence for 30 years, precisely 30 years, 9 months. If you would have done a 10,000 rupee SIP, forget 5 crores, you would have had 27 crores right now. So, fact remains that the right choice of ideas and the discipline can actually help people attain whatever goals that they want to attain. And this is a very, very simplified way for investors to create wealth over a period of time. Moving on, I think every investor can benefit from SIPs. SIPs can be done for anyone and everyone. Let's look at, people who are the age of 20 years. They are in the early phase of their life where they've started their earnings journey. They have a long investment horizon. If we can focus on building their wealth using SIP route, then in that case, those goals can be really, really large and can be attained comfortably. A 30-year-old investor or people who are in their 30s, they are role-driven investors. Suddenly, the reality of life have started hitting them. They are married, they have kids, they have got a house, they have got certain EMIs. So they are now really, really concerned in terms of what various goals that they have. Can they attain these goals at different points of time? Yes, with the help of SIPs, even a 30-year-old can actually achieve whatever financial goals that they have. When it comes to the 40-year-olds, these are people who have got stable careers. But then suddenly, from goals, their bigger goal becomes retirement. How they will be able to get there, how they will be able to achieve that. SIPs is a way by way of which, that can be done. Their priorities like, children's education, retirement planning, and everything can be structured with the help of SIPs. And then, the people who are there in the 50s, they are near their retirement age or probably already are retired. They want whatever earnings that they have had, how to save it. Or probably, they want to pass on a legacy to the next generation by creating a small corpus. That also can be done using SIP. So clearly, I think for any age, of investor, we can use SIPs in order to help them take care of their financial needs. Now, this is where I come to the most important part of the evening, the discussion that we wanted to have. As to, how do you 5x your SIP business? Here, I think before I come to this equation, I will put across two, 3 pointers. First and foremost, I think when Kapil was doing the poll, he asked a few questions. One of the questions, the least number of answers were, "Do I have a predictable system for generating SIPs?" I think there was only 2% of people who said, "Yes, we have a predictable system for generating SIPs." I'll tell you a simpler way of making your system predictable in order to generate SIPs. You have got 100 investors, and these 100 investors across, I mean, you look at businesses across the world, you will find one thing common across all the businesses. 80% of the business comes from 20% of the people. Similarly, for all of you, 80% of your business is coming from 20% of your investors. So if you have 100 investors, your 80% of the business comes from only 20 investors that you have. What do we do? We put in all our focus, all our energies behind those 20 people, and we kind of slowly forget about the rest of the 80. It is important to go back to those investors time and again and keep nudging them. Go with different kinds of communication, which will help them to kind of understand and relate to what you're trying to tell them, how it will help them to generate wealth. Because if you don't, they in time will become the 20% of someone else. So it is better that you kind of, go back to your investor base and see who are not active with you. If he has started one SIP, can I add one more SIP from? Second, and this is even more critical, most of the times our clientele is largely those 40-year-olds, the 35 to 40 plus age. I think 35 plus age, that is the kind of clients that we generally want to work with, because they have got stable incomes, they have got a visible career path in front of them. They are kind of a little more mature in terms of what are the expectations and so on and so forth. So it becomes easier for us to kind of give them that sense of what they should do in order to achieve whatever goals that they have. But as time progresses and time passes fast, let me assure you that 10 years down the line, a 35-year-old is 45, a 45-year-old is 55. At 55, they have children, and those children have grown, and they are their 20s who have started to work. Deepening the family tree becomes extremely important. Today, I'm sure that of all the clients that you have, there are enough people who essentially have children who have started working. Are we catering to them? Are we talking to them? Are we discussing with them about the benefits of SIPs? Are we deepening the family tree? I think that is another question which you need to ask yourselves. This is another way where you can make your model predictable. Third, and the most important thing, is the basis of all that we are doing. See, whatever numbers that you see or whatever illustrations that we see for the mutual funds, everything is based on one simple formula. FV is equal to PV into 1 plus R whole to the power of N. This is nothing else but the formula for compound interest. It takes into account three factors. It talks about present value, that is the amount that you are investing. It talks about a rate of return, what is the amount of return that you will generate in the instrument that you're investing. And it talks about the time. Now, a lot of people have spoken about rate of return, which is higher the rate of return, higher will be the value. A lot of people, including me, have spoken about power of compounding comes into picture or play with time. But nobody talks about the PV, which is the present value. What is the amount of money we are investing? A simple thing in SIPs, we can do a fantastic way in order to attend to this particular PV part of it. This is your ATS, or the average ticket size. If your average ticket size goes on improving or increasing, then in that case, the wealth creation possibilities for your investor also increases dramatically. So if we have something which can or incorporate into the entire SIP model by allowing the investor to increase his SIP value on a regular basis, then in that case, life becomes extremely simple for you as well as for the investor. Most of us, any working professional that we are speaking about, or even people who essentially are into business, see growth in their earnings every year. So if earnings is growing every year, can we invest a little more? I think that is where a step-up SIP comes into picture. So if you want to increase your SIP book, I think one of the simplest way to increase your SIP book is to do step-up SIPs. And I would suggest that no, every one of you, whenever you start an SIP, you should ask your investors to register as a step-up SIP, so that at incremental time intervals, you will be able to add some more money into the SIP automatically without you going back. So that can be a very, very powerful tool which can help you to grow your business. What is step up SIP? It's not complicated at all. The investor selects an initial SIP amount, and then the investor defines the amount of step up that they can do and at the frequency at which he can do. It can be as low as 500 rupees, or it can be a percentage of whatever was the initial SIP amount. The SIP amount increases stepwise at the chosen interval. It can be annual, it can be half yearly, it can be quarterly. The choice remains with you. It is as flexible as an SIP is. But then once your final amount is reached, the SIP continues from that level going forward. So there is one illustration which is kind of put over here. I'm like, if somebody would have done a 10,000 rupee SIP for 20 years, generating a 12% return, then in that case, the total investment that the individual would have made by doing the 10,000 rupee SIP for 20 years would have been 24 lakh. The value of that at the end of 10 years is at a crore. But if you do a step up, then in that case, the value becomes 68,000, 68 lakh 72,000. You have added more. Your PV has increased. And look at the final value. The final value is almost double. In 10 years' time, you're doubling the kind of value or goal that you probably are supposed to be at. Very simple, but extremely effective. I think without doubt, every distributor friend, every partner of ours should adopt this particular possibility in doing SIPs. You can not only increase your SIP book, but then you can help your clients grow their wealth exponentially, almost two times within 10 years. Now imagine what happens if you do it for 20 years. I think the number changes quite significantly from that on. So this is one very, very important tool which possibly can be used. There are other tools which are there, which I would not want to enumerate, but then there are many scientific tools which can be used. There are value SIPs, there are flex SIPs, there are, SIP plus. There are so many different variants of what you can do depending upon market, depending upon environment. The SIP value keeps changing. This helps your investors have a better experience in their investment journey. And I want you people to communicate that very, very regularly. So, yes, if the question is, can we have a predictable way of increasing the SIP book? The answer is yes. This helps you to predict how you possibly can increase your SIP book. Now I'll come to the second bit, and this is the more important bit, which possibly a lot of us know, but then probably are not working. It is about you. You as an individual, are you a brand? Are you able to position yourself in a way that whenever people want to do anything about investments, they think of you? And that is the significant differentiator. This is where I would say, though I think in the poll, a lot of people said that no, prospecting is not one of the best solutions, but then I feel that the best way in which you can build your SIP business on a sustained level would be by prospecting clients from the market. And this is where you becoming a brand becomes extremely important and critical. Now, when you have to build yourself as a brand, it is extremely important to understand your target group. And that is where a lot of us kind of go wrong. I do understand that we would be actually focusing on specific segments. Like I said, age or demography is one such target group. If you are looking at people or clients who are 35 plus, then in that case, your brand building has to be to meet the requirements of a 35 plus. Similarly, if your cohort or segment that you want to focus upon are doctors, then in that case, you need to build a brand of yourself around doctors, somebody who understands doctors extremely well. So it is critical to identify and define your target group so that you can become extremely effective with them whenever you communicate with them or whenever they reach out to you. Because people will only relate to you when they know what is your expertise. And in order to make that happen, let us be very clear. You talk about, baby boomers, you talk about Gen X, you talk about millennials, you talk about Gen Z. All of these people have learned about brands online. Today, it is almost imperative that we build a very strong online presence in order to effectively communicate your brand image to the investors so that they come to you and they start doing their SIPs. So, one very important and critical aspect of what are we discussing in terms of growing your business is only possible if you are able to grow your list of clients. If you increase clients, then in that case, your business will definitely grow. And this is where I think I would give a lot of importance in building yourself as a brand and understanding the opportunity which digital offers in order to build your SIP book. Now, what is required to capitalize on this opportunity? I will just take a couple of minutes in order to give you a clarity with respect to that. First and foremost, become the king of your catchment. I'll give you a very good analogy so that you'll be able to appreciate what I'm trying to say. There's a gentleman called as Raghu. Raghu is a hero because Raghu, despite whatever challenges, has been able to build his business sustainably and has not faced any challenges whatsoever it is. Whatever challenges come his way, he has been able to comfortably beat it and has been able to create a significant business model for himself. That's why he is a hero. Who is Raghu? Raghu is nobody else but than the Kirana store guy in the junction in my house, near my house. Okay? Lot of people, lot of articles, lot of consultants have written off Raghu's business model time and again. But Raghu sustains. Initially, it started with these large format stores like hypermarkets in the form of Big Bazaar and all coming into play. A lot of people said it is going to be extremely difficult for Raghu to sustain his business. He will not be able to do it. Answer: Raghu maintained whatever he was maintaining. His business continued to grow. He was only doing, selling groceries. Now he also does a mobile phone recharge. So he has included more value for his clients in the process. Then came a time when, COVID happened. Everything stopped. The economy was in a standstill. Nobody was going out of the houses. Everybody was closed. Suddenly, these delivery apps started to become important. Raghu couldn't open a store. Everybody said Raghu's business is dead. Raghu will not be able to sustain it. It didn't really make any kind of difference to Raghu. As soon as things opened up, he came back with more vigor. He was doing things even more stronger. Now he says, you send me a message over WhatsApp, I will deliver it to your house. Then came the time of, Blinkit, Zepto, these kind of guys who have started to, deliver it instantly in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Raghu still is not dead. Raghu has got a thriving business. So if you know your catchment, if you know exactly what you want, then in that case, you will be the king of that particular area and nobody can disturb your business. Friends, remember this. Your brand is the most effective thing for the catchment in which you operate. You can create an impression on your clients like nobody else can create, come what may. Platforms may come, direct may come, regulations may change. And we have seen this, our business has been absolute resolute without any kind of challenges, despite the fact that no, there are so many things that keep changing in terms of dynamics time and again. Important to become the Raghu, be the king of your catchment. How can you do that? As I said, you create certain impression that no, you are there to solve their problems. We have created such kind of opportunities. Make sure people know what you do, what you can deliver for them. Until and unless you are able to market it, you will never be able to grow. A set point is such an initiative from our end. This tells people around your catchment that you can be the king of their SIPs and people can come to you for their solutions. So, more clients, more is the business, more is the SIP book. More importantly, I think I'm not sure how many of you have actually mapped yourself or mapped my business in Google. Google has a facility, I can just type in the name of that particular thing and it'll tell me where is the address and location. It's very simple. It's just this that you have to send a letter from the address and it gets kind of done. But it goes a long way in establishing that, no, yes, the brand has an address. And that address is to be found out. And it can be found out using Google. Small thing, doesn't is it's not at all, it doesn't require you to incur any cost, but it kind of creates a identity of your address on Google Maps. And that helps investor to reach out to you when they want to reach out. It is critical and important as a step to have so that you are found more often than not when it comes to people who are wanting to work with you, who are services and your build their wealth creation journey along with it. Critical in this aspect is for you to build an online reputation. If you don't have an online reputation, people will not understand that. And today, with AI and all those algorithms which are in play, it is almost very, very critical for you to have a very strong presence, which probably will add value to your business. And remember, friends, when your business gets value added with all these kind of things, then in that case, prospects increase, business increases, and you will be busier and you will be seeing your business thriving more and more. How to do it? I think it's very simple. I'm just giving you an example of Karnataka over here and see the kind of potential which is there. Okay. There are 40 million Facebook users in Karnataka itself. Bangalore has 15 million, Mysore 3 million, Hubli 2 million, Mangalore 2.5 million. And these users are generally in the age bracket of, 30 to 60 years, which is the typical target audience that you want. So is the case with Instagram, so is the case with LinkedIn, so is the case with WhatsApp. I think, all these digital assets which are there around us, which we constantly use, has a huge set of people who are using it. You reach out to them, you become the king of that catchment. And it is critical that, you work around it so that, that reputation of yours is built on an online basis. Is online reputation important for your business? The answer is a resounding yes and a very big yes. The idea is to create good quality content, build a social media calendar, select the content to be, used on a regular basis, drive engagements, build visibility, and the reach can be deepened. Simple way, but then your online presence makes a significant difference. And when I talk about it, I think it's critical for you to have this calendar so that you don't miss out. As a distributor, you might be doing five different things, but then this becomes priority because this is where you prospect your clients. This is where clients kind of reach out to you and understand you. The frequency with which you communicate with them, the frequency with which you are able to share content with them, that will help you in kind of creating more, interest in investors, and the clients that you're prospecting will come to you. And that is where, the big difference happens. The more people come to you, say it be from referrals or say it be with regards to, using social media in order to get them, important thing for business is to get more clients. What you can do simple things, have a good profile picture, keep it simple. You should be present in your business in a professional light. You should, constantly follow the content calendar that you have built. Regulate it, how regularly you are able to kind of, post content is actually what matters. Visual content is much better than, text. But remember, emotions is what plays in this case. Friends, SIP or investments is more emotional than rational. We try to build maths and try to make sure that it becomes a rational approach. Goals are important for people. Focus on the emotion part of it. Do step ups, engage with clients on a regular basis, prospect clients on a regular basis, I swear to you, the business is built in such a manner that it can only grow. The faster you grow makes a bigger difference. All the best. Thank you so much for listening to me. Kapil, over to you. Thank you. And if there are any questions, we'll be more than happy to take.
Thank you. Thank you, Dev, for the lovely presentation. Okay. Uh, one question is there about the step up. Is there any way to determine how much the current value of SIP? Can you teach us how to determine the value of current SIP if somebody wants to start an SIP to reach the 5 crore goal and with the
Yeah.
step up? So how is it possible to determine how much
I
amount?
think you can use I'm like, of course you can use Excel in order to do it, and it's not really difficult to do that. It's only thing that do you want me to demonstrate that to you?
I don't know because it will take a time, right?
No, there are n number of calendars which are there. I'm like, sorry, calculators which are there online which can help you doing that.
Yeah.
All that you are doing is that no, in Excel also when you're using it, there is something which is called as PMT. You kind of use incremental PMT on a regular basis, and you will be able to calculate that. I think online, if you go, I think there are enough and more tools which are there which can help you get an understanding of that. But then more important than finding the value, I think it is just the orientation. Like I said, even at inflationary level, if there are increments in salary that's happening, somebody who is making 10 lakh rupees at this point of time, he gets a 10% increment or 8% increment. That is a 80,000 rupees or a lakh of increment in terms of income. What we are trying to say is that, can we take 500 rupees more out of it and add to that? It is only the way in which you want to communicate and put it across. It is but a very powerful tool. Imagine you do that every year and you do it for, say, maybe 10 years' time. 500 rupees, 10 years' time, you have an incremental 5,000 rupee SIP coming from that investor. You don't have to go back to him. You can make sure that no, he constantly is an active investor for you. Every year he's adding more SIPs with you. I think that is these are the simpler ways in which you can kind of grab the attention of the investor as well as make your business robust. So that is what I would rather say when it comes to the step up SIP. It's a very powerful tool.
Okay. Surendra is asking that, as you said, that we need to become a brand. So, can we do it on an individual basis, or we need to register a brand, a name of a company, and register it, or is it okay if we do it on an individual basis?
In this business, I think a lot of people have done this mistake in the past. People have kind of retained their individual name as the business. Institutionalizing it is the most critical thing. It's not the name, it is the brand, which is an institution which probably is recognized more. You can have whatever name that you want to have, but then if you make a company out of it, then in that case it becomes easier because the company has an identity of its own, distinct from the individual that you are. The company can have more people. The company can have many offices. The company can represent various ideals and thought processes. There'll be a mission, there'll be a purpose, there'll be a vision for that particular organization. I think it is important for us to start the journey of building a brand by first establishing yourself as an institution. Then your business becomes a lifetime business. It's an infinite business. It's not a business which has got an end date. We have to take the business because even if you are not there, your investors' money is there. There's somebody else who can take it forward. And that is how you can create sustainability and you can create a legacy, which possibly is called as an enterprise, which is kind of the main purpose is to help people grow their wealth and kind of have a better form of life. I think that is the way in which you should approach it. It's not about individuals, it's about an organization. You can create that organization, and you should always start by institutionalizing it, making a company, registering it. I think that is absolutely necessary and important, Kapil.
Okay. I want to ask audience one thing, which Dev sir has mentioned, okay, about Google My Business. How many people actually know about Google My Business, and how many people have their name registered on Google My Business? Kindly push a yes or no. Because I think in my previous digital marketing session also I have covered how to get Google My Business page. I have given you the links and everything. Okay, I don't know how many people have actually done it. Guys, do you know? Else I will again share you the links and everything. Okay, I think couple of people. The session is already there. It's live on YouTube. I'll share you the session. Okay, and I've even provided the links. Yes, I'll again put the link on the One Crore SIP community. Okay, I think a lot of people are not using it, and who don't know, I will share it again. I've already taken a complete digital marketing session on just not the Google My Business, but Facebook also, Twitter also, Instagram also. Okay, which aspect, Answara is asking, which aspect, according to you, is the critical skill in the 21st century to be acquired? Prospecting, building tech, as she is reiterating the poll question. Okay, tech, AI, storytelling, or anything else. What would be the skill which we need to acquire?
Prospecting. I think
Prospecting.
until and unless you have clients coming to you, your business will not grow. You do it in the form of IAPs. I think, as a house, we have been promoting this aspect very, very strongly that we have to add more investors. Friends, let me put it this way. Look at the population of the country. We have got 140 crore population. 28 is the median age.
Okay.
50% of that population is in the 28 to 58 bracket. Means that these are the people who are working. There are 75 crore PAN cards in the country. There are equivalent to 80 crore plus, bank accounts today. So I think, there is absolute possibility for us to have all those people to come and invest in mutual funds. In truth, how many people are there? Only 6 crore. We have got 28 crore folios, but then only 6 crore investors are there in the industry. The only way this opportunity can be seized is by getting more people on fold. We need to get more clients, educate them. And friends, let me tell you this. You are in a profession which is very, very, noble. You are doing welfare for the society, not only by helping people create wealth, but then by helping them become literate with regards to financial understanding. Use it. This is a noble thing that you're doing. Don't stop from talking to people. Anywhere, everywhere you meet people, I think you should talk. Everyone is a prospect for you. Every day we have to make sure that we meet at least 5, 10 people who necessarily can become investors tomorrow. So if you want to grow your business, if you don't add clients, your business is not going to grow. You can work on the same set of clients with limited growth. But then with people coming new and afresh, I think that business can actually grow exponentially. And we have seen this. I mean, like, look at this. I was telling you this, right? As in, from 2020 to 2026, in the industry, what has happened? From 8 crore folios, we are at 28 crore folios. At the same point of time, the business has gone from 22 crore lakh crores to 83 lakh crores. So that is how business compounds, and that can happen with the help of prospecting. So I think that is the most important thing one can do.
Okay. Uh,
Storytelling and all, is a matter of experience. I think, as you speak, you will understand the questions people have, the kind of, challenges that they face, what kind of resistance, objections that they have. And you will kind of keep coming up with more creative, with experience, you will grow. But prospecting will not grow like that. You have to work hard for that. And that is really, really important.
Okay. Prahalad is asking, as a new MFD, should I have my own company, register it, and if my ARN is in my name, is that okay for Amphi? I'm only one person working right now in the company, no other employee. He has an individual license, but he has named his company. So I think as per Amphi, he cannot do it right now, as per the new guidelines. He cannot name the company's name.
No, I think you need to change the name of the company. I mean, like, you can make whatever limited. I don't think that the name of the company can be anything. It is not really, really difficult for that. But then I think, or I suggest people that you should have your specific goals with regards to business. like Kapil says, I'm like, can I have a 1 crore SIP book over the next 2 years? If I have already got a 1 crore book, can I have a 5 crore book over the next, 5 years or 10 years, whatever might be the timelines? You should have goals. Similarly, if you have started new, have some basic goals. Once I hit 5 crore, I will register or incorporate register the organization or a company. At 10 crores, I will have a back office support. At 20 crores, I will add one salesperson. I think you also need to give shape and scale to your business. Friends, remember this. You are a distributor right now. With experience, you are also a business owner. So you are an entrepreneur and you have an enterprise. Give the enterprise a shape. So today, when we know Kapil is here, he represents Prudent. Prudent at one point of time was a very small entity. Today it has grown. Today there are so many people working in Prudent. Today there are so many distributors are associated with Prudent. It happens over time, but then it is because of the clarity of vision with which Prudent went about things. That is why they have kind of shaped up the way they have shaped up at this point of time. Similarly, your business has got the absolute potential. The opportunity, as I mentioned, is immense. There is no dearth with regards to what business can happen. All that you need is that clarity of thought and that prospecting capability in order to see that your business reaches that scale and size. And that is what is most important, Kapil. I don't think that it matters whether you're an individual, whether you started new or you're already in business for the last 10 years. I think it's only the orientation that an individual should carry that makes a very big difference.
Hitesh is asking, nowadays lot of Gen Zs prefer do it yourself, okay, over MFDs. So how to handle this? They think that expense ratios are more, seeing some YouTube videos,
I'll give you a
invest
very
with
good
a broker
example.
and lose 1 crore rupees. The total invested amount was 10 lakh rupees.
Yes, yes. I'll give you a very good example over here. I think that will help answer. I think there was another question on AI I saw. So probably, it'll answer both the questions together. So I am from an MBA college. I was studying there. So my marketing professor was an ex-HUL guy and pretty effective. I am Ahmedabad pass out. So he was telling me the story once that HUL is the most coveted job that you can get in any MBA college, which is Hindustan Unilever Limited. Uh, so at one during the campus placements, his batch, I'm Ahmedabad, I think he passed out sometime around 1974, 1975 at that point of time. In his batch, when HUL came to the campus, one guy in the batch, he created a map of India and he just put locations from where HUL sources its raw materials and where are the plants HUL has for detergent, for soaps, and so on and so forth. What he created was a repository of information for HUL team to understand where they are sourcing raw materials and where they are manufacturing, how can they logistically benefit from it if they are able to see it from a point of view of distance, time taken, mode of transport, so on and so forth. This was not available online at that point of 1975. There is no online. So you see, he was selected. He was rewarded for the effort that he took to do research and come up with that particular map. When we were doing MBA, you had internet. All that you need to do was kind of key in important points like where are the raw material supplying points of HUL or where are the locations where HUL has got their plants, and you had that information available for anybody and everybody. The difference becomes how do you use that information in order to give better insights to them. Now, insights are available in the form of, artificial intelligence. It is able to churn a lot of information and is giving you across answers, which possibly is helping you to kind of not even think and research. What is important now is how do we use that information and whether that information is useful or not. Believe you me, I don't think that, the people who essentially use online tools will be able to understand one extremely important aspect, which I kind of highlighted while we were doing our discussion, is the emotions. Emotions can go anywhere. I'll just tell you this. Last month, 100% of the new SIPs that had been registered, we had equivalent number or more than that which got terminated. The reason is very simple. In the last 18 months, no fund has generated return. Markets have given a negative 10% return. So people's expectations change and they kind of do these mistakes. That is where your capability comes in. We should be happy that these people are coming into the mutual fund fold using DIY platforms, because then the KYC and all these hassles are taken care. But until and unless they don't have a support, they don't their hand nobody is hand holding them, it will become extremely difficult for them to create wealth. They will keep coming and going out. That is where a distributor comes into picture and MFD comes into picture. I think, irrespective of what kind of understanding investors will have, they will never be able to manage their emotion stability. It is important for us to kind of hold their hands, help them during tough times, give them the right kind of advice, and make sure that they are protected. I always say that distributors are like anchors. Okay, when the sea is choppy, it will help you to steady the ship. When the sea is absolutely smooth, you remove the anchor and the ship can go faster. So you have a very important role in order to help manage the emotional quotient of the investor, which can help him in his wealth creation journey. Good that people are becoming more aware. Good that online we are getting so many facilities. But then that online facility will not help them in understanding what is good for them or what is not good for them. Majority of the investments which are happening today are happening in thematic ideas, and people come at a high and lose out. But when it comes to a distributor, the distributor will be able to understand the risk appetite, understand the goals, understand what kind of solution needs to be given, and can give a better journey to the investor in entirety. Yep. So DIY is there, but then you are more than that. So don't worry about it. I think it's only a matter of time. When things go bad, people will kind of run for cover, and that is where you can come in and you can help the investors.
One last question from Sachin. Can you please share 2 to 3 ways to prospecting?
So first and foremost, I think I just said it all. I'm like, first go back to your own client base. Use data to your advantage. If you are not going back to the clients that you have already got on board, say maybe 5 years, 10 years back, and then that guy is silent, probably we don't want to go to him because he asks too many questions. I think shun that thought process. This is your business. The more visible you are, the better and easier it is for you to get business. So use data smartly. Use a CRM tool in order to keep track of what kind of engagements and interactions that you're doing with your clients. Kapil asked this fantastic question as to how regularly or periodically you are kind of assessing your clients SIP with you. A lot of people gave very divergent ideas, and then somebody said, "I'm like, the least response was, I don't have a fixed process. Fix the process." I think that is critical. That will help you to kind of keep prospecting your existing clients on a regular basis. Second, I mentioned deepen your family tree. I think it is a very, very important thing. Use new age tools like platforms, and I'm like, Prudent has got such amazing platforms which you can use, which even the new generation is able to appreciate. A lot of us think that active funds are actually the better products. Let me tell you, active passive funds have gained way more traction. Probably the new age investor wants passive funds, index funds, ETFs. Are we speaking to them about those? If we are not, then in that case we are not going to get Gen Z investors. We have to open our mind in terms of how do we kind of go about meeting with these people, interacting with these people, understand the requirements and give solutions. So this is another way to prospect. Third, and the most important thing, and I'm like we spoke elaborately about that, become the king of your catchment. If you don't understand your business, if you don't understand what is the way in which you can make yourself more visible, you will not be able to prospect. I definitely think IAPs are a great tool for doing that too. Try and do that. There are so many things which are around us and we are not working on it. There are clubs, there are associations, there are specific cohorts. I think we can kind of go and touch base with them. Tough job, no doubt about it. But then who said that business is easy? Business is always difficult. And if you can only come out of this strongly, if you can put in your hard work, then friends, I think this business grows exponentially. So prospecting is literally critical, and I would expect that every one of you put in that effort, and then your SIP books can not only go to 5x, it can go 10x, 20x, 100x. That should be the kind of goal that we should have.
Done, sir. I think we are done with the questions. Just let me check the Q&A also. Yes, done. Chat all done. Okay, I'll share the Google setup business account details. Thank you so much, Dev sir, for your time. It was a really lovely session. For the full participation was there till the end of the chat. Not even a single dropout. So that was really, really how gripping your presentation was. Couple of
Thanks.
people are asking, Vesha, can we get this presentation? Okay,
Sure, I will share it with you. You people can have.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for
Thank
the
you very
opportunity,
much. Thank
Kapil.
you all the partners.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.